you don't personally think that there's going to be a big crash or anything. But if there is a crash or a recession going into next year, how can people and businesses position themselves to overcome that?
Well, it's interesting to hear Grant Cardone taking that point of view. Mm-hmm. I've been a subscriber in his past, and maybe I've missed something, and or maybe he's at a different point in his life, right, where he's thinking things differently. But I've always believed if you can solve a problem that somebody has, you'll be able to sell that solution to them and make a profit, sometimes a very good profit. And I've seen when solutions have been solved for people, for the masses. When a company comes up with that and they're innovative, they can boom in the worst of times, right? People will pay. They'll give up something to solve a big problem. Mm-hmm. And so I think what happens when interest rates are down and there's a lot of money going in the market, people get slack.
Yeah.
Anybody can enter, hey, I'm a guru.
Yeah.
Guys, I've seen some young guys that are doing it. It's like, when I was 25, I was acting like I knew because it's what I knew. Yeah. The older I get, I'm not trying to be the low-cost provider.
Yeah.
I've never found, there's the Walmarts in that game. There's other.
McDonald's.
And they've raised their prices, right?
Yeah.
And they've had to raise the prices because they're raising income. You know what I mean?
For their minimum wage.
The minimum wage.
Yeah.
And they're just, hey, when you can't stock or what's the term? Not stock, but when you can't hire.
Oh yeah, staff.
All the people when you can't staff. Thank you. When you can't staff what it takes to run a shift.
Yeah.
When you go into the bathrooms, they're not in great shape, right? I mean, people. So McDonald's, they will solve these problems.
Exactly.
They're going to solve a problem with automation, right?
Yeah.
Instead of 3 people making those burgers there, they're going to figure, hey, we can get 2 people there, and so that means we're going to do. Well, guess they just eliminated an employee, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
On 3 shifts a day or 2 shifts a day or whatever it is.
Which is actually
they will find a way to do it.
That's like my area of expertise because I was a general manager of a Taco Bell and KFC for all those years.
Yes, you were.
And so, I mean, that's like right in my wheelhouse of trying to figure out where to cut costs when it comes to labor, because if someone's not giving you productivity, then you could just have one person who's your highest producer make up for them because they're not pulling their weight.
Yeah.
And so that's what businesses are doing right now, because you have to pay them more.
You asked the question, what do businesses do? You gotta be innovative. You gotta find a way to replace that person. If the market's gonna say, hey, you gotta pay these people more, you'll find how do you get your best producer. Maybe you bump that guy $3 an hour.
Yeah, exactly.
So now he's making $18 an hour.
You'd rather pay that than another person 15
and have him bring his friend in. So you got 2 guys you're paying $20 an hour instead of 3 guys you're paying 15. So you're paying $40 instead of 45, right?
Yeah.
But there's probably a better disparity there that would be, right? I mean, a greater cost. You still have to buy the chicken. You got to buy the beef. You got to get the cheese, the buns. They've all got to be fresh.
Exactly.
And they've all got to be good, right? And you want to have clean restrooms, and you want to have a clean, people that go out and clean stuff up. Mm-hmm. I hate when I go to a good franchise, that you think is going to be clean, and it's just like, hey, this is a Tuesday afternoon, man. This isn't like, it's not the 4th of July. It's not like a billion people are coming in here. Either they're really lazy, and I used to think that could be, but I think they're just understaffed, right?
Yeah.
So part of the reason we're doing this is we're looking for input from the people we're broadcasting this to and all of our clients to solve the problems, right?
Yeah.
If we can lease a building 2 months faster than our competitors because we have a better platform to get it out there, we're talking about what the real problems are, we're saving them, right? Yeah. 2 months of lost income on that is a big deal. Right?
Oh yeah, huge deal.
Even in a hot market, people say, "Oh man, I'll just throw my sign up. I'll put it on the internet." Okay, and you might be able to lease it. If you've owned real estate for a long time, you know how to do it. But maybe it'll, even in a very quick scenario, let's say you get somebody you find in the first 30 days, you negotiate that out a little bit. Now you're into the second month, right?
Yeah.
A couple things come up. Maybe you lose them. You got to start over. That's real estate. That's how you do.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going with you, and we found out some problems right there. Or they didn't want to do what we were asking. Right. In a very, very strong market, it could take 120 days on a normal cycle just to get.
Yeah.
We go through the issues, the negotiations. I say that's generous. Say 60 and 90, right?
Yeah. That's still 2-3 months.
2-3 months that you've got, and that's pretty fast. I mean, that really is.
Yeah.
So let's say it's 8 months. Let's say CoStar has a little formula that they use and say, hey, if you price it right, here's the price.
Yeah.
Here's the range of market, and I feel like we know where the market is in those little areas better, right? They're taking kind of a broader market, so you know it better. We should know it better as the agents. They're saying it's going to take 4.9 months to lease this, right?
Yeah.
The truth is it probably takes 6 months, for the market out there together, maybe for this particular building. If we can lease it in 4 months, which is what we're trying to do, right?
Yeah.
That's one scenario, leasing it. One is price you put it at, right? If you price it $1 or $2 per square foot higher than what the rest of the market is, because you maybe, let's test the market and see where it's at.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll push you out there. Maybe you don't find out. It's like you're not getting a lot of showings if the landlord's not ready to say, "Hey, let's bop it down," right?
Yeah.
A lot of times the damage is out there. The people that are looking at it, oh no, that's over at that building. I know where that's at. They're way overpriced. They're not even looking at it anymore. It's a weird thing that happens. I don't know. It's a human nature thing.
Yeah, I think so.
So you got to be smart enough. Where do we hit the market at, right? All those things play in.
Yeah.
That's our business. I'm using examples. But we did use the example for the fast food and other things like that. People are going to solve that problem. When they do, they'll be compensated. Those that are out there that don't have their heart and soul into it, the ones that want to work 4 days a week, and then have 3-day weekends with their families, we all want that, right?
Yeah.
But that's not business always, right? I mean, so I mean, it's we've got our shingle out there, not just to do business, but it's out there to solve people's problems, and I think we're no different than any other industry. And when tough times come, that's when a lot of really big things get solved one way or the other. Maybe it doesn't emerge for years later, but I think those are the things that I would encourage businesses to do, and I've seen them do it, a couple little changes.
Yeah.
Doggy daycare, just having it absolutely clean, putting a run out back so they can get outdoor stuff and promise
and innovating with you were telling me about how they raised like the cages or something so that it was easier to clean the poop and stuff.
Yeah, they could, so they can go in at any given time, spray the floor down, put it into a collection area.
Yeah.
It's not going down the sewer. They're collecting, it's going into a thing, then they can pull it out.
Yeah.
But at any given time, they can have it sprayed down clean.
Yeah.
Spray the chemical on it after, wash it off, and well lit, good lighting, good dark, at night. It's people's pets. A lot of times that's their pets are loved as much or more than their children,
Yeah.
Or they choose to have pets instead of children, right?
Exactly.
Dogs,
that's what me and my wife have done so far. We have a dog, no kids.
That eventually I'd encourage you to have kids. You deserve the misery just like anybody else's. If you won't love a kid that if they don't give you some misery, how do you love them?
Yeah, exactly.
So, but you're talking about an industry where, I mean, pets are a part of us. They're important parts of our lives, and certain animals give us a lot of diversion and entertainment, and it gives us an opportunity to serve them too, which makes us all better. So I think they took it to a level that's like, hey, you know what? If you drop your pets off with us, we'll take care of them.
Yeah.
We're not going to let them fight with other dogs or this, that. We'll protect them all together. They're going to be in some cages next to some other, but they'll do okay. But we're going to actually walk them every single day out in our pens. We'll let them run free.
Yeah.
At least for 15, 20 minutes a day, something like that,
Uh-huh.
And that's what they've done at Rough House.
Yeah.
That's what we're referring to. And, you walk in there, they got all the chew toys, dog food, things you can buy. They make life easy, leashes, and so they're solving that problem. I've seen some other companies do it, and in the past I thought they were doing a good job until I went, well, they're booked. They would like another location, right?
Yeah.
So they went from a tenant stretching to buying the building and innovating all the way through.
And now wanting to expand.
What's that?
And now they want to expand, right?
Yeah, they want to expand.
Yeah.
Well, they actually did take, so they had a place where they had groomed the dogs inside that building, and they actually went down, bought another building a couple blocks away, that if they had to, they could still run them down there to do that if
Yeah.
they really needed it, not very far, a couple blocks away, but they just had to put more cages, right? I mean, they had to put, there was a demand.
Yeah.
Which is pretty amazing because you see it in there. There's hundreds of dogs that they can get in there. You know?
Well, I think that's a good story of that company innovating, problem solving, and their business is kind of it's a business you might cut back on as you go into a recession, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you don't want to spend $80 a night to have your dog at a daycare or whatever, right?
Right.
That's the stuff you cut back on. Yet because they're problem solving, they're getting all this business now when a lot of people are getting less business in those industries. So I think that ties in perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, it's a simple way
Yeah.
to show there's going to be more innovation, right? But it goes back to one of the questions you asked before. Are you going to keep buying? Yeah. People are going to keep buying.
Yeah.
The developers might slow down because the bank's going to restrict them, but those developers really are investment companies, right?
Yeah.
The big developers. I went to a council about a month ago, and every developer on that panel were large regional developers, some of them national, but they're very, very successful industrial developers. And they said, we probably will not start buildings next year. But that's not because there's not demand. Just the banks and the finance and all those things are playing into it. We're still an investment company, and we are going to keep buying. Anybody that's we see tripping out there, we're going to be right there, seeing if we can
Yeah.
buy those buildings. They want to expand. The solid, all of the fundamentals are solid right there. So for them, that's them solving a problem, right? The banks have made it a little harder to lend, get the lending, get the financing for these projects. Construction, it's different players, right? It's more than just one bank too. You're getting the financing or investors. Some investors, when it gets tight, they back out, right? So at the end of the day, they'll go to those investors and say, "Hey, we're going to buy this. We were building it last year for this price per square foot, and we're going to buy it for $20 less because this building, these guys got to sell it. They're going to lose it, or whatever, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's always that's happening. There's always an opportunity somewhere in the marketplace. In real estate, I think there's going to be keep buying, keep buying it. If it's an investment,
Yeah.
maybe
Well, if you're
that
holding
means
long term anyway, then you might as well keep buying.
this little bump that's in there, just like the last one was. I mean, people talk. It's going to take. Oh my gosh, it'll take years. Well, it did take years to get back there, and then it kind of caught up to where it was at, and then it far exceeded it.
Yeah.
So, oh my gosh, 18, 12, 14 years. Well, I mean, people have been making great money since
Oh yeah.
2014, 2012 is when there's less industrial properties sold in our market this year than there was last year. I mean, was that a bad year? No, it was a great year, right?
Yeah.
I mean, just things don't all stack
Yeah,
up in
exactly.
that year. So that's what it is, right?
Yeah.
That's it.